Welcome to Box Center. I'm your host, JSmiff, and we're going to be talking boxing. In this episode of Box Center, we're going to be talking about the ending of the Tank Davis Lamont Roach saga. We already know everything that played out during the fight. Quick recap: Tank Davis took a knee, then he turned his back to the referee, and Lamont Roach went to the corner, stuck his head out the ring, and I think it was Coach Cal wiped his face, and Tank Davis came back on and resumed with the action. Well, these actions led to, a lot of people talking about it and a controversial finish because the fight ended in a draw. Very controversial because Tank Davis taking a knee should have resulted in a point deduction. But referee Willis opted not to do so. Part of the controversy is that he started counting after Tank took a knee and then just stopped. So people felt like, why did he stop counting if there should have been a point deduction? Well, we'll never know the answer to that. However, after the fight, the results ended up being a draw. One scorecard for Tank Davis and two scorecards were a draw. So a majority draw. And there was huge backlash from boxing fans who felt like Lamont Roach should have won that fight based off of that point deduction that never took place. Maybe 1 or 2 days after the fight, the New York State Athletic Commission put out a statement that they were reviewing what happened in the 9th round. In New York, they do have instant replay, but they had a glitch in the system. And because of this, they were not able to replay it. They relied on the referee's decision during the fight. This review brought a lot of controversy, and fans were split. Why? Because there were fans who were saying, hey, they cannot overturn this outcome. That's it. The fight is over, and they can't do it. It's never been done. And then there were the fans who were mostly relying on boxing rules, saying, hey, wait a minute, if the rules were not followed, then the fight outcome should be overturned, because if you deduct a point from Tank Davis in that round number 9, then those two scorecards that ended in a draw would now be in favor of Lamont Roach. He would win a majority decision. This review started, Monday or Tuesday after that Saturday of the fight, and it lasted up until Friday. So every day people were talking about this fight and this review because everyone was waiting for an outcome. Well, on Friday, the results came in, and the New York State Athletic Commission, what we first saw was that they provided a statement to Lamont Roach's team indicating that there was a mistake made by the referee when he did not make that call, and that it should have been awarded a knockdown when Tank Davis took a knee. However, the decision was not going to be overturned, and it was going to remain a draw. This led to, again, a lot of fans being happy about it, mainly Tank Davis fans. They were happy because they don't want their guy to take a loss. But then there's the fans and people within the boxing community that were disappointed because it's like the rules were not followed. So now the New York State Athletic Commission is in a position where people are questioning their integrity. People are questioning, boxing as a whole. Is boxing a corrupt sport? Is it scripted? The people who say these things, they just got more fuel to keep repeating them, because this is not the outcome that would have happened had that point deduction taken place in the 9th round. They acknowledged it. Well, there goes the Tank Davis and Lamont Roach saga. It ended up in a review, and that review didn't really change anything. There was a lot of controversy about the knee because Tank Davis said that he took a knee because he had grease going into his eye. And an instant replay showed that Lamont Roach caught him with a jab in that eye, and as soon as Lamont hit him, he blinked. He went like that and took a knee right away. Coach Robert Garcia actually spoke about this incident. He said that there were 3 situations that happened all at once, which I touched on earlier. He said that the knee was grounds for a point deduction or standing 8 count. But when Tank Davis turned his back on Lamont Roach and the referee and walked away, that was grounds for a TKO stoppage. And then when Tank's corner went on the apron and wiped his face, mid-round while the clock is ticking, that would have been grounds for disqualification. None of those things happened, and that's what makes this finish very controversial. So as it stands right now, Tank Davis's record is still undefeated, but he has now that draw. I would say that draw is an asterisk because it's always going to be put into question as to what should have really happened. What would have been the right outcome? Was there favoritism? Was this a draw because Tank Davis is a big star? What's going on with the New York State Athletic Commission? Are they corrupt? Are they biased? Were they bought and paid for? We don't know. Because here's the thing. The New York State Athletic Commission renders a verdict. But who exactly did this review? How exactly did they come to this conclusion? We don't know. Somebody actually saw Ref Willis in public and asked him, hey, why did you make this decision? And his answer was, I can't comment on it. I can't talk about it. So we'll never really know why he didn't take any action. Referee Willis is, very respected. He's a guy who's reffed a lot of championship fights, very experienced. So we'll never know why he chose not to do anything about the knee, about Tank Davis turning his back to his opponent, or about the corner going on to wipe Tank's face during the fight, mid-round, while the clock is ticking. We'll never know why he never took action. His response was, I can't talk about it. And the New York State Athletic Commission, they render a decision, but they don't answer to anyone. So, in reality, the Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach saga is going to have that asterisk. Like, we don't know why it played out the way that it did. We just know that it did. What's next? Well, it looks like Tank Davis and Lamont Roach will have a rematch, which we're all going to be looking forward to it. How is that going to play out? Is it going to be a similar fight? The first one was very, very competitive. I felt like Lamont Roach won the fight simply because he controlled the action. In most cases, he was the guy coming forward, walking Tank down. And whenever Tank Davis held his ground, so did Lamont Roach. They traded leather when it happened. You never saw Lamont Roach backing down or moving or Tank Davis having to chase him. It was the other way around, which was unexpected, by the way, simply because Lamont Roach is the guy coming from the 130 division, moving up in weight to challenge the hardest puncher in the 135 division. So you would have expected that he's going to be the guy using his footwork, moving around, trying to stay away from that power. And it did not play out anything like people expected. Keep in mind that Lamont Roach was a 20-1 underdog. 20-1 underdog. Most of us were expecting him to get knocked out by or before the 8th round. So he shocked the world. Lamont Roach's stock is way up, and the boxing community is looking forward to the rematch. We'll see how that plays out. So the Lamont Roach, Gervonta Tank Davis saga still hasn't finished. Now that we have a rematch that's most likely going to take place next. They're not going to go fight somebody else or anything like that. They're going to fight each other next. At least that's what they're both saying. Let's see how it goes down, my peoples. Well, there you have it. That's what I wanted to say about the Lamont Roach and Tank Davis situation. And I'm looking forward to seeing what's next. Thank you guys for tuning in. You already know what this is. This is Box Center, your favorite boxers, favorite boxing show. Peace.